Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'll be discussing one of my biggest concerns about Battlefield 2042, and that's the inclusion of AI soldiers in multiplayer. This was first revealed in a blog post a few weeks back, and since then EA revealed a little bit more about how the bots will be implemented. So now that we have a bit more information to work with, I thought I'd discuss why having such a feature might be bad for the game. Before we get into it though, I do want to mention that I'm quite impressed with everything I've seen so far. All my expectations have been blown out the water, and I'm still super excited to get my hands on the game. So this video isn't about me bashing Battlefield 2042 or being negative for the sake of being negative, but rather to provide some feedback and hopefully get some changes along the way. So to quickly recap what we know about AI soldiers so far, the initial post by EA said, AI soldiers are used for server filling capabilities, ensuring matches remain full no matter your location. Then, the most recent article by The Verge said humans will take priority, so you might never encounter an AI soldier at peak playtimes, and if you truly hate bots, you'll be able to play other modes. But the main event allows up to 64 AI soldiers to help fill a game, and there's currently no plan to let you turn that off. So it clearly seems like the main goal is to support those smaller communities in less populated regions, offering them a somewhat similar experience to everyone else. I think that's fine, and I can totally understand why they've done it. One of the main reasons why I stopped playing Hyperscape is because the servers stopped filling up, and that just took the enjoyment out of the game. The same goes for Firestorm. However, the important question is, would I have continued playing both games if those servers were filled with bots? Absolutely not, but I do recognize other players may not care as much, and it would allow them to continue enjoying the game. Having said that, here's why I think having bots in multiplayer could be detrimental. First of all, it goes without saying, AI bots in multiplayer goes against the entire concept of multiplayer where you expect to go up against other humans. The inclusion of bots will completely remove all the things we expect to get from a multiplayer experience, such as tension, competition, unpredictability, and satisfaction. At some point, sooner or later, players will get bored of killing bots. The urge to win will eventually fade and lead to a more stale game, ultimately hurting the replayability. Worst case scenario, this may lead to a snowball effect where players leave because of the bots and more bots fill up the servers, and so on. Could this lead to player retention spiraling downwards faster than ever before? It's hard to tell, but it's not out of the question. At the moment, we do not know how prevalent bots are going to be, so we can only assume without console crossplay, bots will play a major part in populating servers due to the shortage supply of next-gen consoles, which isn't expected to improve anytime soon. So there are a few unknowns here, and I guess we'll find out how much of a role bots play as soon as we get more details on crossplay and a better idea of the player count. I just think the AI soldier announcement was a bit premature for a game that hasn't even released yet, unless EA anticipate matchmaking issues. Either way, I doubt the announcement entices potential customers to pick up the game. In fact, from reading social media, it may have the quite opposite effect and give potential customers a reason to dismiss the game. Now, I do recognize I may be overreacting a bit, but this isn't the first time I've seen bots ruin a game. If you don't know, PUBG was one of my favorite games ever, and I really enjoyed playing it. So much so, I used to treat myself to a session of PUBG each time I uploaded. Yeah, I'm weird like that, and it's probably the reason why I haven't been uploading, to be honest. But long story short, I stopped playing PUBG when they added bots with update 7.2. Ironically, those bots were added to help noobs like myself, but it had the complete opposite effect and pushed me away from the game. Those tense matches I used to have didn't feel tense anymore, kills just didn't feel rewarding anymore, and it felt like I was just wasting my time playing. At the time, PUBG Corp did come out and acknowledge that their decision was controversial, and since then toned down the number of bots in matches, but they've not gone back on their decision. Furthermore, not only did bots put me off the game, it completely ruined the viewing experience. I stopped watching PUBG streamers because those previously impressive high kill games weren't impressive anymore. The bots just completely took the life out of the game, and there are plenty of others who felt the same way on YouTube, Reddit, and social media. Just YouTube search streamers react to bots in PUBG or go on the PUBG subreddit and search for update 7.2. There's plenty of feedback there, and I really don't want EA to follow in the same footsteps. It may be over the top and a bit raw, but it perfectly captures the sentiment around bots in multiplayer. Also, some of my favorite content creators quit playing shortly after the introduction of bots, so we shouldn't underestimate how much of a negative impact bots can have on the entire Battlefield ecosystem. I doubt 2042 will have any problems attracting viewers, but I definitely wouldn't call it a streamer friendly feature. Streamers often play during off-peak hours, and if their lobbies happen to be made up of 50% bots, even if that's a year or two from now, it's not going to be a pleasant experience. Another concern of mine is toxicity. How much toxicity will the inclusion of bots bring to Battlefield? Warzone is a good example where players constantly get harassed for playing in bot lobbies when that may not be the case. I often get comments about how I'm playing against bots, and while they are amusing to read, if the entire player base starts to think that, it can start to become problematic. Again, these are all worst case scenarios, but I wouldn't be so quick to dismiss them. My suggestion would be to disable the feature entirely for historically populated regions such as EU and NA. If we might never encounter an AI soldier, there's no need to have it turned on in the first place. This way you reassure players that their lobbies aren't made up of bots and stops us from constantly second guessing. I see no need for musical chairs, the swapping of bots and players during a match when there's an existing healthy player base. It just seems a bit unnecessary to me, especially at launch when there's a massive influx of players. In my opinion, it's probably for the best to just avoid all the confusion and negativity it may bring to the game and only enable the feature for regions that desperately need it who can actually benefit from it. And that's all I've got to say for today. Let me know what you guys think, whether you agree or not. I do want to get your opinions on this. As always, feel free to leave a rating, subscribe for more future Battlefield content, and I'll see you later. Take care.